the session of SharePoint. In the first session of SharePoint, we learned what is SharePoint. And in the second session, we learned what are the things that you can do with SharePoint. Now, we will be learning the features of SharePoint and one of the most important feature that SharePoint is used for. So we will be starting with the features of SharePoint and then going over to My Site on SharePoint. SharePoint has mainly four features: My Sites, My News, My Files, and My List. And we will be starting with My Sites. SharePoint has a very specific use. Like every time you work in an organization, you will have a server where you will be storing all your work files, right? For example, if we are working with Microsoft OneDrive and we have Microsoft Office 365 subscription, we will be storing all our files on OneDrive, right? Now, the servers can be offline and online. The offline servers basically helps in storing the files and accessing them when you are connected to the Office network. But with SharePoint, you do not need to install or deploy an Office software. What you can do is you can access the files from anywhere, irrespective of whichever system you are using. It's just that you need stable internet connection. With the help of SharePoint, you will be able to add, create, organize files, and also secure them and control access of it. So SharePoint is very important. And the four features of SharePoint is that you create sites, you can create news regarding all the programs that's happening, you can upload the files, and then there is a list of items that you will be able to do, right? So let's see what is My Site all about in SharePoint. For My Site, you need to select plus create a site on the SharePoint page. In the wizard, you can whether you like to create a team site or a communication site, choose. Enter the name and description if you want for the site. Select and edit the site. Then edit the group email address or the site address and choose a sensitivity level for your site information. Make sure that if it's a private group, you're choosing privacy. If it's a public, you can make it a public site as well. But it all depends on what is the privacy sensitivity level that you would want to select. So let's learn how to create a site on SharePoint. So let's go back. And we will go back to SharePoint. Now you see these are the ones I had already created. So I'm going to create a new site. To create a new site, you see this plus sign. Yes, click onto this. And you'll be able to see a team site or a communication site. Now, what is a team site? Team site is create a private space to collaborate with your team. So this is a very team specific site. Track and stay updated on project status, share team resources or co-author content. Also, all site owners and members will be able to publish site content. Here it helps in tracking and staying updated on the project status. Whatever project that you're working on, you will be able to do that. You will be able to share team resources and co-author content as well. And all site owners and members will be able to publish site content. Whereas for communication site, you will be able to create portals or subject specific sites. You'll be able to engage with dozens and thousands of viewers, and you will have very few content authors, but many site visitors, right? So team site is much more work productive site where you can upload all the materials that are pertaining, all the documents that are pertaining to your work. Whereas for communication site, it is very specific to certain viewers, many viewers, but not many people can upload their content. For example, if you want to publish a news, you would rather do it with the help of communication site because that will be accessible to all. Whereas for team site, it will be only applicable for all the internal work that you will be doing. Now let's select team site. Let me give the name of the team site as SharePoint. Okay. Because this name is available, if I want, I can edit the same, right? The site is also available. In case I want to edit, I can also do that. I want to tell the purpose of the site. This is for now for the privacy and sensitivity purpose, I would like to keep it public or private. Let me keep it public. The selected language is English, right? Go next. And let's say you start typing members. So now that the website is getting created, I will add myself here and I will finish it. Once this is already created, I will be learning about, if I want, I will be able to access quick links where it can tell me how to learn about the team site or how to add a page. I can also add a real-time chat, so I can add Microsoft Teams here if I want to, and I can continue with the same. So this is also getting added, so I can, if I want, I'll be able to add Teams here as well. Now for the page details, you can go here, you can check. For example, this is home. You can see when it was modified, the version history as well. Yeah, you will be able to see when it was published, what changes was it done, and it will also highlight the changes done on the page, right? Now for the conversation purpose, if you go here, you will be able to get a group, right? So you have landed up in a SharePoint training group that has already been created. You can send mails from here. You can even go to the group files that are available and even go to the group calendar, right? So this group will only carry messages for the SharePoint training, right? And as you can see, a group has already been created, so you can see the SharePoint group is already here. Now, if I go back, I'm here. So this was conversation. Then you have Teams. As you know, the team has already been created, so the Teams is also there. Then you have documents. For documents, you'll be able to share any documents that you would want in case if there are channels, if you will be able to share. So whatever you create in Teams, you will be able to access the same here as well, right? You have an insight library and a general Teams as well. The next that you have is Notebook, where you get access to OneNote. Here you can take notes, write notes, edit it whenever you would want to, and you do not even need to save it because this syncs automatically and all your information is stored. Then you have pages. For example, your home page is already created. In case you would want to add a wiki page or a start page or a site page, you will be able to do the same. You can also upload a link. Yes, you can also upload a link if you would want to. In case you would want to export the information to your system, you can either export it in a CSV format or an Excel format depending on your requirement. A lot of organizations has the CSV format as the most applicable format, but in case you're more comfortable with an XML format, which is the Excel format, you can do the same. The next is you have Power Apps. So you can see what are the apps applications that are available here, and you will be able to use the same, right? So all the applications that are available here in terms of the Power Apps, you will be able to use it to for the SharePoint training. The next is scheduling. In case you would want to schedule the enabling of the page authors or publishing of the pages, you will be able to do that with the help of scheduling. So let's say if I enable scheduling, I will be able to enable the publishing time. In case I don't want, I won't be able to do it. You can also automate, power automate. You can create a flow, see the flows that has already been created, and configure the page approval flow as well. Yes, you can do all of this thing. You can also check who has done what in terms of which by author, by editor, by created by you or me, recent changes, create as a new view. If you want to create a new view, you'll be able to do that and save the view as well. Yes, you will be able to save that as well. You can even open the filter pane and check on what are the filters that are not applicable here. So because this is a public group, you can also do it. You can also see the Microsoft Teams channel has already been created. Now it comes to site contents. As you can see, there is documents, form templates, site assets, style library, and site pages that has been created already. All of this helps in understanding what are the different kind of things that are available, which you can use. For example, if there are site assets, what are the site assets that are there, right? So all the documents you will be able to find it here. Then there's recycle bin. In case you have deleted anything, you will be able to access it here. Again, this recycle bin works exactly like Microsoft OneDrive. So here, if you remember, we were talking about second stage recycle bin. You also have second stage recycle bin here. In case you have deleted something from the site, you will be able to find it here. If not, if 90 days have crossed, you will be able to find it in the second stage recycle bin. In case you would want to edit and enable site navigation, you can also do the same, right? You can also edit the page you would want to and save and have a lot of time in just editing all the pages that is required for saving. So this is about a team site. Now let me create a communication site. So I'm going to create site and go to communication site. And let's say Microsoft Office, right? And this is the site address I want, right? I will finish this. Once this is getting created, I can browse a template. For example, I can look into crisis management, department, leadership connection, learning central. There is volunteer center, new employee onboarding, showcase, topic, and then there is a blank as well. For example, if I want to choose a template, let's say I want to choose Learning Central, I want to see what is there. I'll just use the template. Wait for some time, make sure that you have a stable internet connection. SharePoint requires a stable internet connection to work. Now you can customize this so you know who has the full control, site members, site visitors. For example, as you can see how the members can share. You will be able to work on the customized rules that you will be making. So these are there. In case you would want to upload files here, you'll be able to do that. Let's say, for example, in case I want to edit this page, I will go to edit and I can choose the label that I want to. So for example, I put it as a link and I can change the name. For example, as training 100, right? And let me put it as a label itself. And if I do OK, it has become training 100. Similarly, I can change all of the names here and I can edit the same and then I can publish it as well, right? So all of these things can be done from here itself. We can move up, make a sublink if required, remove these pages as well. So there's a lot of things that you will be able to do with the help of SharePoint, right? Now, once you do that, you will be able to navigate here and you can also access the sites from here itself, right? So if you go to my site, you will be able to see the sites that you have created. If you go to the starting page as well, you'll be able to see the sites that has already been done. For example, the SharePoint training is something that we just created, and as you can see, it is already available here, right? So this is how a SharePoint works. You will be able to see whatever you create. Now that we have created Microsoft Office 365 training in the uh, communication site, you will be able to see that as well. As you can see, the whole site has been created. We just need to edit the same. Once you edit it, you will be able to publish the site as well, right? So you will be able to do all of those things. If you want to know more about how to create a site, do visit support.microsoft.